Barakathum, Yahweh Shamar al Thun by Shem Yahweh Shah. This is Priest and Captain Shemawa Allah of ISUPK under Commander Jen Yohana, bringing to you live on YouTube for ISUPK Queens. These ice raids. How do we stop these ice raids? How do we stop what's going on in California with our Hispanic brothers getting snatched up on the street? Or the injustice that's being done to our Hispanic brothers that's going to continue to happen by the hands of our President Donald Trump, or Edomite, a so-called white man according to the Bible, and all his fellows, all his allies, all his constituents. How do we stop that? How do we stop the oncoming disaster? But we're gonna first go to Zephaniah 2, verse 1. It says, just gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. And who's that nation not desired? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We that nation that's not desired. We got to gather ourselves together. But how do we gather ourselves together? And we got to do it in righteousness. And righteousness, guys, we got to stop lying on each other. Stop sleeping with each other's women. The scriptures say this: love thy neighbor as thyself. So we got to stop doing these things. You got to stop selling the drugs. We got to stop eating the pork, the shrimp, the crab, the lobster. We got to stop doing all these things. We got to love each other in that kind of way. That's what we have to do. That's how we got to gather together under these laws, statutes, and commandments. We can go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. 20 and 15. This is Moses. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. The first curse, verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. That's what they cursed in Los Angeles right now. ICE is going crazy in Los Angeles, snatched up his family. They're afraid to go outside in Los Angeles. They're afraid to go to work. They're afraid to go to the store. Why? Because they're afraid they'd be looked at as an illegal immigrant. Even if they was born here in America, they are a naturalized American citizen, they still getting snatched up. Go we're cursed in the city. Why are we cursing it? Like I said in verse 15, we don't observe and do all his commandments that he wants to, all of them. The Christian church has failed us, man. Our Negro leadership has failed us. They teach that the laws are done away with, but pay your tithes. They make it all about money. And it's not, and yes, you do have to pay your tithes, but what about all the other things? That's why these things keep happening to us, because we are cursed. We're gonna go to in the book of Judith in the Apocrypha. Jude 5th chapter, verse 19, verse 20. Judith 5 and 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. That's why ICE is overcoming us, because they're sinning our nation. We're not keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. You better join the ISUPK. You better get in our classes. You better get in all black if you a man and join the ISUPK and learn and change your life so that way you won't be overcome. But verse 21 says this: but if there be no iniquity in their nation, iniquity is sin, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. See that? If there's no sin in our nation, they'll say, let us pass by. ISIS say, let us pass them by. Unless they're God defending. God not defending us right now. Why? Because we're not keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. That's what it all comes down to. The law, statutes, commandments. We got to keep these laws, statutes, commandments. We're going to go to Jeremiah 50 and 7. Get you another scripture. Jeremiah 50 and 7. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord. You see that? And that's what Donald Trump is saying. He said, I offend not. This is for the good of America. He offends not. And anybody who wants to side with Donald Trump said, we offend not, because they know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are sinning against the Lord. We got to stop smoking them cigarettes, man. I know they made weed legal. We got to stop smoking that weed. We got to stop. The pork, the shrimp, the crab, the Christmas, the Thanksgiving, the Halloween, it all got to stop. They got to stop right now, today, this very second. Why? Because they're going to keep saying we offend not. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. The Most High has a hand in all this. We're gonna be forced to join together, like how we just read in Zephaniah. We're gonna gather ourselves together. It's better sooner than later. We're gonna go to now. 2 Chronicles 6 and 36. 2 Chronicles 6 and 37. 2 Chronicles 6 and 37. Yet if they would think themselves in the land whether they are carried captive, we would think ourselves, change our minds in the land that we are kept. We are captives in here in America, in the Caribbean islands, in South America, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly. If they return to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whither they have carried them captives, and pray toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the heavens, even from thy dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. See that? We got to think that's in the land of our captivity. That's another thing our people do. Well, when Christ come back, I'm gonna get down with you. Okay, now it's gonna be too late. Then Christ's gonna chop your head off. You're gonna get burnt up by 1,000,000 degrees of nuclear warfare. You want to get up on them chariots, like how I said that old slavery song, "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." You better bethink yourself in the land of captivity and pray towards Jerusalem and admit to the Lord you have sinned, and you better stop sinning. We're gonna go to because this is what happened if we're going to Exodus 23 verse 22. Exodus 23:22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, let me see. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, and then I will be an enemy until thine enemies and an adversary until thine adversaries. See that? If we obey his voice, like how we read in Deuteronomy 20, observe and do all his commandments, he'll be an enemy to the ice. When they try to snatch us up, something will happen to them. They'll have a stroke or something like that. They dare put their hand on the Hispanic, the chosen people of God. They'll something happen to them. It says in that book of Psalms, Psalms 58. I'm gonna get that real fast. And that'll be my last scripture, Psalms 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. They are poisoned like the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder that stoppeth her ear. That's right. You see that? The white man, this took my so-called white man, Edomites. They're like the death adder that they are poisoned in state, but they ear. They can't hear nobody else's pain. So all that marching we doing, all the protesting, that's falling on deaf ears. And it's going to say it. Verse 5, well, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. This is David talking right now. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters, which runneth continually. And when he bendeth his bow, his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. See that? When he bendeth his bow, when he bring out his devices, let it turn back on them. Let their guns turn back on them. Let that gun explode in their face. Let that happen to those ICE agents when they bring that ICE agents to our Hispanic, whose land it was stolen from. Look, California used to be part of Mexico. Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, all these people, they stole that land. This is stolen land. The Native American Indian, the Seminole that owned this land, they stole this land from us. So when they try to do harm unto us, let it backfire on them. That's what they let it backfire on them, and they be destroyed. But that's not going to happen if we don't bethink ourselves in the land of our captivity. Hey, I just wanted to bring that out. Hey, that's the solution to the ICE raids. We got to gather ourselves together because we that nation that desire. We got to come together in righteousness. Join the ISUPK. Go to isupk.com and find the city nearest you, the school nearest your city. Get all that. We have online classes Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Online class, Saturday, Sabbath service. Hey, pay your tithes. You got tithe and donation link on ISUPK. Pay your tithes. Support the men of the Lord. That's my time. Shalom.